There are times when you'll want to jump to a heavier weight, but you know you can't make that leap without losing your impeccable form. In fact, the American College of Sports Medicine recommends a jump no greater than 2 to 5% for the upper body and 5 to 10% for the lower body when you're increasing the load. I work out at home, and there's no 12.6K kettlebell. So I do have to be smart about how I make that step. Using standard kettlebells, the jump far exceeds ACSM recommendations. The standard exists because those smaller increments allow for growth and adequate recovery and improved control and form. Failing to follow that recommendation could mean that you don't complete the workout or you increase your risk of injury. If your goal is strength, you can't just keep increasing the number of reps. That improves muscular endurance. And adding easier or more exercises isn't your answer either. In Practical Programming for Strength Training, Ripito says effective strength training programming will never devolve into the rotation of exercises for the sake of variety and excitement. The variables in effective strength training are always load, volume, intensity, and rest. Variety, for its own sake, is a hallmark of exercise, not training. So, how do I make that big jump in weight to a heavier load? We start with rep scheme variation. More sets, fewer repetitions. If I'm doing 3 sets of 12 at a lower weight, I can simply do 6 sets of 6 to maintain the same total when I increase the load. Then we have power, plyometric variance. We're basically adding momentum. This has a learning curve, so it's not the first variation I think about with a client. I will often jump from a strict press to a push press when I move up in weight, however. It just takes a little bit of practice. Alternative overload methods. So basically, doing one side at a time is one way. I do this with bent over rows because I lose my form otherwise. And pre-fatigue is also a clever way to introduce a challenge. Then we have tempo adjustments. It means changing the speed or introducing a pause. Generally, we slow the lowering phase, but just know it may mean more delayed onset muscle soreness with this one. Intra-set rest manipulation. That sounds more complicated than it actually is. We're basically not allowing full recovery between sets as you're working through fatigue. My favorite is to do 1 to 3 every minute on the minute, which allows for 50 to 55 seconds of rest in between each set. And then I do it for however many minutes I want to achieve a total volume that I've set for myself. Now these are 5 different ways. There are other things that you can do, but I hope this helps.